We've got four people who represent the various interest groups here. So I'll first of all call forward Pakeha. So Hiwi will represent the Maori. We've got Mark will represent the Sports Council, Environmental, and Jason, the Guardians of the Sea.
It's been a long day. It's been an interesting day. It's been a day that we have put all our issues on the floor. I've come down from water along with my fellow co-marker and colleagues. George Riley, the CEO for the Ruben Maori Marketing, Joe Bistro, co-marker representative of the two hapu from the Rafiki, which you talked about today, Pakeha and Matakuta. And I myself, of course, was the chair of the committee for the Ture. Now, you have heard our issues in terms of the long overdrawn application for Mātaitā that our people have put in 2008. And you also heard today that it hasn't been resolved and is now 2013. We're hopeful from the discussions that Corey and Sunny had with members of the Minister for Primary Industries last week that there would be some traction that's going to come out of this. I've brought my issues and laid it out in front of you. And you laid your issues in front of me, and it's something for me to take back and give some due consideration to. I hear the comment from Guy back there with the orange T-shirt. But I think we've come a long way. We keep saying this within the different, with the number of Hokianga Accord meetings that we have. And I think even though we have this very strong relationship in the past, I think it's the day that we really say to ourselves, well, yes, we can do something together, we can make decisions, and we can formalize those decisions and support them collectively. So I think that's a big plus for all of us. I hear the sentiments of my whananga from Te Rāwhiti and the aspirations that his tribe has in terms of environmental management of the tini of Tangaroa, or the multitude of Tangaroa. And I think today we've heard a number of what those multitudes are, and there's a whole lot of other issues that are out there. So I thank Mahuhire for being our host today. And I particularly want to thank all of you for giving all your views, and as I said, I'll take back a lot of what we have discussed today and talk amongst our own people. And when we get the minutes, if you like, of the meeting that we have, then I will talk to our 14 hatu about what we have decided today. So to all of you, thank you very much.
Wane, Huey, Joe, George, Scott, thank you all very much for today. Thanks very much to the Hokianga Accord and the process which brought you all together in this room today. Yeah. From all different areas, I suppose. We represent quite a diverse group of people. I think we've made some very good progress today. Come up with some resolutions, which is excellent. Made some new friends, hopefully. And we've all got something to take back to our organisations to think about and put processes in place. And it's great to see everybody trying to work together and speak as one and come to some consensus. Well, I'd say thank you very much, everybody, for coming in today. And thank you all boys for your hospitality.
My name's Jason Ford. I'm here today as a trustee of the Guardians of the Sea Trust. I had to duck away at 3 o'clock, which I apologise for. I was to pick up my children from school. I lived just up the road, so I came back again, and my children said to me, "Why are you leaving?" And I said, "I'm going to a hui," and they said, "Why do you need to go to the hui?" And I said, so your children and your children's children can catch fish and feed their families. And I feel very, very passionately about this. We're in the fight. So much thanks goes to the resolute nature of the people involved. I've witnessed incredible feats of passion and commitment. You're some of the finest people I've had the pleasure of dealing with. It comes from the heart. The kōrero here today was, the theme was friendship and renewing friendships, and I think we've done that. And to coin a phrase, Bill, I think we're more resolute and muscular as a result, and we go away from here today empowered and passionate. So thank you, thank you, thank you.
It was interesting, just before Scott asked me to speak, I'd just been reflecting on the Accord and regretting the fact that probably the numbers today are down somewhat because it's been such a long time. I think it's the first time we've had such a gap between Accord meetings, and I think we need to take that on board and not let that happen again. But also in terms of today, I guess what I found most strong is that we spent most of the time talking about causes and effects and how to address things. And I reflect back to when the Hokianga Accord started. And I missed the first one. I was at the second and subsequent ones. So I think we're talking 2006, 2007, something around that. And that was immediately post the period when things like marine reserves were creating huge divisions, and some of my colleagues and Scott wouldn't talk to each other. And reflect on where we've got to now. And I know when I started coming to the Accord meetings, some of my colleagues looked at me sideways. But now we're in a situation where the focus is not on what the differences are, but what our commonalities are, and addressing those issues, and working together on these things. And both Forest and Bird, and over the last few years, Carly's been really involved. I think we've just made such immeasurable progress to realising what the real issues are and not focusing on what the differences are. I mean, I even heard Bill Cook describing himself as an environmentalist conservationist. I would never So I think the Hokianga Accord and our relationships have just come such a long way, and we've got a really good future ahead in terms of addressing the real issues rather than fighting all the phantoms, and the issues with the fishing industry, which has been right on the sidelines today, which for years it sort of dominated everything. But we're actually concentrating on what really matters, and I think that's a very healthy sign for us going forward. And I'd also like to thank our hosts for hosting us here today. And it's been a pleasure, really good pleasure to be here.
Angatirama, nā tangata whenua, nā mana whenua, te wharai. Ko titiranga te maunga, te whau te awa, te ropu epa, te whanga, e nā moana nui a kiwa, nā moana. Tēnā koutou, tēnā koutou, tēnā koutou. I'm the new kid on the block here, and I know it's very dangerous to get between a whole lot of fishers and kai, so I'm going to be very short. I just want to say I didn't know what to expect coming along, and what I think I've seen is something very special, a coming together of tangata whenua, conservation groups, recreational fishers, people who care about being able to responsibly fish now and in another generation and another generation after that. And I'd like to tautoko the comments of our friend here, because I've got to explain to my kids why I'm late home, and it's for exactly the same reason. I've stayed because I think you guys are onto something really important. And the coming together of these forces, the weaving together of this rope, offers you a lifeline to the future. If you can make that stick, you will win, and you will bring the public along with you. Imagine a single activity where more than a quarter of our population participates. And what goes more strongly to the heart of our consciousness as New Zealanders, both Maori and Pakeha and Pacifica, than our relationship with the sea and the kaimoana that is in it. It's incredible. And if you can tap into that, you've tapped into something very deep. I just want to give you a personal pledge to keep my ears and eyes open and my mouth relatively shut for a short while I work out what way's up. But having, with your help, worked that out, I hope you will find me to be a tireless advocate for these interests, with a view that there are some enormous win-wins. The ability to preserve, sustain and revive our environment, the ability to extract and maintain high economic value, and I acknowledge the Sea Lord interest here, that they are not necessarily opposed if we take a long view, but it requires wisdom and it requires some muscle. And a lot of those fights in the end, those big scraps happen down in that windy city where I go to work in the middle of the week, and I'm witnessing one of them at the moment, and I'm not shy of a scrap when the time comes, as Max will tell you, and one or two other old buggers here I know. So anyway, I wish you well, and it's been very impressive, the bits I've heard. I'm going to have to run, otherwise my kids will skin me and barbecue me when I get home. But thank you very much for the opportunity so far. Thank you, Wayne.
Thank you for your address and your attendance here. And good luck for your campaign next year, in election time. It's important for us also to keep an ear on the political scene, especially for our objective in terms of more fishing water. So, got it done.
Yeah.
And thank you to all our speakers, speaking on behalf of your interest groups. I want to acknowledge our whānau from the Pacifica, e me te tangata Tonga, tangata Fiji, tēnā porua. And I also want to acknowledge all the New Zealanders here. You know, we do battle, Maori battle about their interest rights and all that sort of stuff, but at the end of the day, what's good for Maori is good for this country. What we really are trying to seek is respect from one another, and reciprocate that respect. That's the whole purpose of this. It's what Māori call aroha ki te tangata. That's the Māori Warden's slogan. So aroha ki te tangata, that means love to all, not just ourselves, but of course we've got to look after our children first. This is that the government is quite afraid of us talking like this. There's some power in seemingly discordant groups talking to one another. So, you know, let's carry this on and the scope up on. I think, you know, it's a beautiful thing for me. And maybe it'll spill into other areas of our life, you know, and I hope it does do that.